like what I noticed that one thing is like you're basically, because I don't care, I would never insult somebody on the right. Like, for me it's like you're fighting against the left already, so why are you trying to bring in more fighting amongst each other? It's just crazy. Like, it's like you're fighting amongst each other now. It's like I never got that whole thing. But I know even with I was seeing the news recently with your friend from Cork, Ross the Hive. I was reacting to his stuff, and his stuff was like crazy, that he's getting sentenced to jail time for flipping, obviously protesting against the absolute insanity, like this sort of drag queen story hour shit,
Yeah, but see that video that he posted, or that video that he took when he went into that library.
Yeah.
Like that video had over 40-50 million views.
Oh shit!
Like it was shared by Elon Musk.
Oh shit! Oh yeah.
By Elon Musk.
Wow.
He was endorsed by about hundreds of thousands of people online that actually says that Ross the Hive was perfectly right and 100% correct in what he did. And yes, like Irish judicial system will completely overlook that and will just go along with the bias, and it's kind of scary in a sense, because like there is a two-tier legal system in this country. Like they seem to be very fast to incriminate like anybody that's on our side in particular. And it's becoming a very common trend. And it's not just Ross the Hive really. You look at the likes of Graham Carey. Like a couple of years ago, there was a guy up in Dublin, and there's mass protests out in Tala. And he created a live stream, and he's just been angry, and he just said, like, if nothing's done about it, we'll go through the state. And sure, well, what the guards essentially did was they went off and arrested him on a hypothetical charge, like on something that could have happened but didn't happen.
Wow.
And
it's crazy.
Like he hasn't been able to create a Facebook Live. He hasn't been able to. He isn't allowed to go on Instagram. He isn't allowed to go on any form of social media at all. And
they just censor you like heavily if you try and say anything that's even controversial.
Yeah, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to create that into the first hate crime charge in Ireland, like of where it's a hypothetical charge of where, okay, this could have happened but it didn't happen. But we're still going to go ahead and switch up and prosecute you anyways.
Wow, yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, even I started reacting to stuff probably, like I said, maybe a year or two ago, and like you notice that my whole beef with the Irish government is one thing, but it's even mostly with the Irish media. Like, the media is the real criminal. Like I see now, it's like you're trying to debate the Irish government is one thing. We can say, oh, we can vote people out, we can vote people in, but the media is just like the ultra corruption machine. I think Elon Musk did open it up a little bit. He did actually make it so people can speak way more freely. Yeah,
well, see, and the one thing I actually find very interesting at the moment is what Trump is doing to BBC.
And
the fact that he's suing the BBC for splicing videos, breaking it down, editing it, and essentially creating fake news. And Irish media is kind of guilty of that to a certain degree as well. They're very guilty of that. Like all of these so-called far-right documentaries where they'll take a little clip, like literally a 10-second clip, like they put it into a documentary and twist it. And it isn't just Trump that the media has been creating a lot of fake media about, and splicing videos and creating like just complete misrepresentation of that person. And hopefully a lot of people follow suit in what Trump does, and this is the change of where like you can't just alter media for the benefit of making somebody else be a complete demagogue when they're not.
And like that was that was from the trying to storm the Capitol. So he was saying that he was going to help them and like to fight back, and like they actually spliced it together. Now he's suing them for $1 billion. $1 billion.
$1 billion. Well, it is a significant amount, but like when you think about it, like it is pretty serious in what they did, like because they're trying to lay the whole capital right situation on him, and to kind of take like a clip and mix it like something that was said half an hour later.
It's
like
brutal.
It's pretty serious in doing that, and
it's unbelievable.
It's probably the first time we've ever seen really like a case going like this, where for like $1 million lawsuit it's been created against media agency for deliberately creating false information. So it will be very interesting to see now if you'll go after the national media agencies of other countries as well. Because like I know for a fact that RT hasn't been too kind towards.
No, yeah, and even if you look at the new president, like with Catherine Connolly, it's like crazy to see like that. She is so against Trump. She's so anti-left. I call her communist. I mean, she's a self-promoting socialist as well, and she's self-declaring declaring a socialist, and she's so anti this, anti all this, and it's just crazy. It's just nonsense. It's like we have another one, and then Michael D. Higgins did nothing. You know, they were praising Michael D. Higgins so much yesterday. Over 14 years, I don't know what he did. Do you even know anything that he did over 14 years? I mean, a couple of things, but nothing major.
Yeah, well, if I know a lot of bad things that he's done.
Yeah.
Sure, Michael Higgins was responsible for signing in the emergency laws during the lockdowns. That wasn't very good, was it?
Yeah.
He's responsible for the abortion laws. Like, he signed those in. There's a couple of things that you could see that what Michael D did is anti-Irish, and the one thing that has been severely under attack over the past 20 years, ever since we joined the EU, in particular, is the Irish Constitution, of where they're trying to break down something like a declaration that was formed 100 years ago, like a vision that was created by like Irish men and women that fought to die that country at the time, and they're trying to change that to bring in modern day laws to see to the EU. So it's just a lot of things happening in this country we don't get to vote for.
That's the main thing that I always talk about. We're not to vote for anything. You know, I mean, what do we get to vote for? The marriage referendum, which is just bullshit. Like, these are all such small things. It's like, you know, like, why aren't we voting for, like, you know, non-mass illegal immigration to the country? You know, we're not allowed to vote for anybody. Like, when we had our house built, like, we got flipping planning permission rejected, like, you know, one time by there was like we had British neighbours at the time. They actually left like a month or two after we moved in, but they rejected to the house because they said, oh, it's unsightly. Nobody else did. But now if we reject this mass invasion of people, it's like you've living going to jail. Like, you know, you've living, like, your man was recording, I don't know if you know, like, Paul Nolan. He was like this YouTuber, like, as well. He was like recording outside iPass Center, which I don't really know the laws because you're in public, Alan. Like, you know, if you're in public, you're kind of like, you're able to record people. Apparently these people have protective rights then, special rights.
Yeah, but see, like, and that's where the law is actually now starting to discriminate against ourselves, like, you know what I mean? And so like, what's basically after happening now is that the media can't even report on a crime in the country if it's committed by an asylum seeker. So like, they can name, shame, dox you, post up your address, they can post up your picture. But if an asylum seeker goes off and stabs or rapes a girl, they can't say anything about it.
It's awful, man. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And there's never any pictures of them. There's never any pictures. So we're just meant to live with all these people, these just random people from God knows where. We're forced to live with people, and like, we don't know where they're coming from. We don't even know, like, you know, it's just madness.
And how are you supposed to know? Like, sure, you could walk down the street, you could choose a video, and then the next thing you're after identifying an asylum.
Right, exactly.
The next thing you know, you're in jail for a couple of months.
Exactly. Like, if you're just filming yourself in public, if you're doing a vlog, I mean, how are you supposed to know? Yeah, it's madness, man. It's really good to talk to you, though. I know, like, a lot of people wouldn't know, like, that we even know each other, probably. Do you, like, still talk to Ross, having these guys a little bit, or do you? Because I remember, I'll give you a praise. Like, I remember, like, a few years ago, like, when I first started getting into it, but even, like, when I first started talking about, like, politics, you know, this is probably, like, going back a few years, I would watch all your videos on Facebook, and I know I'd meet you and I'd be friends with you at the time, but I'll be honest, Alan, I didn't really know what was going on. A lot of people, you know, don't understand, like, that, you know, ignorance is bliss here. Like, I truly didn't know. Like, I was into politics when I was 14. I would watch all the shows, you know, with my brother and my dad. We're watching Jesse Ventura Conspiracy Theory. We're watching all these different shows about what's going on in the US. But when it comes to Irish politics, it is actually vastly different. I would watch the US politics and I was into it. Then probably about 3 years ago, then I got savvy to what's going on. Even during the lockdowns, I didn't know what was going on. I truly didn't know. I was like, oh, this is, because I was in the matrix, so to speak. I was like going to college. I had to find a job, you know, I'm at home, I have to find this job, I have to do this. And then you're wondering, like, what the hell is going on? There's no jobs, you know, first of all, there's no housing. And I'm going to college like an idiot thinking, oh, I'm going to have some, you know, amazing lifestyle after college. It's all nonsense, all bullshit. Unless you move somewhere like my brother and that kind of thing. We moved to different places, but it's like, you know, you're really living an uphill struggle here. You're living an uphill battle in Ireland, you know?
Yeah, well, see, like, I was kind of the same way. Like, really, in terms of politics, like, I was never really into politics. I was never involved in politics, and it's kind of like eventually you just start kind of seeing things like when your life starts being affected financially by things, like you start investigating like what's happening, like especially when you try to do everything by the book. You go to college, you get 4 years done, you get a college degree, you get 6-7 years experience in industry, and you kind of think, well, maybe things should start getting better now. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is what we're told. Like this is the path to success in our country, and when that's not good enough anymore. Like what are you supposed to do? Like
it's disaster.
Like there's record levels of people in the mid-40s having babies now in this country.
I saw that recently.
Like, that's sad. Like first time mothers in their 40s.
Yeah, it's bizarre stuff. It's bizarre. And I saw this recently as well. Someone was saying, "Oh well, Ireland, we're doing well. We have record employment. Like everybody's employed." And I remember seeing that being like, well, you're employed in jobs that aren't going to give you a high standard of living, though. You're employed, like, when I was employed in retail. I was employed in these jobs that you can't really get ahead with these jobs. It's not like I know you're a scientist, like, it's not like you're employed in like this area where you're making 40, 50, 60K a year. You can raise a family, you can have your own house. These are jobs that are like, unfortunately, like I worked for many, many years. You're just living kind of day to day, paycheck to paycheck. You're just spinning your wheels, and then eventually spinning your wheels isn't enough. Like, it was 10 years ago when when we first moved back, my dad lived abroad. Like, when we moved back in 2001, like I was 6 years old or something, and like we moved back home, and like it was okay for 10 years. We didn't have much at all. We had flipping nothing for 10 years. Like, my family struggled after the 2008 recession. My dad was on, couldn't get work and stuff. But for a while there, about 12 years, we were very hard times. Now I don't know how people have hard times. We finally kind of made a little bit of money, but now, like, if you don't have a good enough income, I mean, you're finished. Like, you're really finished. Like, it's terrible.
And I kind of guess, in a sense, like how it all kind of started for me was like I was just a regular factory worker, and it's kind of moving on fairly well in the industry, to be honest.
It's a good job.
Like it's actually heading towards being the supervisor, the quality supervisor of a whole facility. Like,
right.
That was what my promotion was to be, and then they went off and decided to turn the Marieman Hotel in Kilfara into an asylum centre.
Right.
And the hotel is only about 40 metres away from my grandmother's house. And I went off, he looked at it, Joe Byrne went off, he posted up a post saying that the hotel was only going to be closed down for 3 months. And I said, well, there's no chance in hell that's only going to be closed down for 3 months. Like,
right. 3 months. Yeah. And, it's like the lockdowns, 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah, and so,
complete bullshit.
And 5-6 years later, the hotel is still closed down.
Well, I'll tell you, I noticed that recently. I'm starting to kind of watch that place a little bit more closely recently. And like, honestly, like, instead of having Ukrainians in it now, I don't know if you've noticed, you probably know more, it's all Somalians now. Yeah. And I didn't know that. Like, I truly didn't know. I was those Somalian people walking out of it with their kids and stuff. And it's like, is this Ukrainian or is it Somalian? I don't know, what is it now. Like, I didn't even know the update on it. Like,
yeah, but see, the thing is, they're kind enough with Kilfara for some reason, like, because they want to keep some sort of facade going there, that everything's nice and lovely, and it's not how it is. Yes, when you go to City West up in Dublin, it's a completely different reality. Like, you know what I mean? Like there isn't any women walking around with kids. Like these are men walking around with knives and going into these back hedges and taking cocaine. Like, and
100%. And we're quite isolated. Like, the thing about, like, it's funny that I'm meeting with you as well. We're quite isolated in Galway a little bit. Like, we're still, like, Dublin is just hellhole. It kind of reminds me of England, like the UK. I was in the UK recently. UK is a fucking disaster. I would never move there, live there for any amount of time apart from visiting my friend. But like, now you have a situation in Dublin. It's just turning into this London, this super multicultural shit. You don't know your neighbor. You don't know anybody. Anybody could be anybody. It's like from a hellhole. There's 30 stabbings a day. There's 40 flipping stabbings a day. It's just bizarre stuff.
Yeah, well, it's just, see, like, the one thing I find kind of sad, like, is if people have went off and looked back at their history and looked at their family name and what their families had to do to fight for independence and to get a sovereign nation, like, they'd be very upset. And it had a lot of, like whenever people talk about the past in this country, it's a lot of pretense. Like they'll go off and they'll dress up and they'll have the little show and commemorations. Like, but like if people really respect the memories of our forefathers, like, they'd be a bit more kind of, I wouldn't say militant about the ongoings of things that are happening around the country, but a bit more kind of assertive in saying that this is wrong. This is not what my great grandfather wants.
Yeah.
Like for example, like my great grandfather fought in the War of Independence.
Oh yeah, amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
And so like he was properly involved with like proper IRB. He was properly involved with like the proper IRA.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The real IRA.
Yeah.
Like the IRA when it actually meant something, when they're actually fighting for freedom of the nation.
Right. Absolutely.
And like this is historical fact, and we've made it to prove it. And like I know for a fact that today, if he was to see what was going on in this country, he'd probably pick up his rifle again.
Yeah.
That would be the same way that many other that all of our great grandfathers would have been if you saw the way that the government had gone and what we're doing, and the way that they've stripped this country of its sovereignty. That they'd all be picking up the rifles and they'd all be going back out the door again.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like we've given the country away to the EU now.
Yeah.
The EU is now this thing where it's like this amazing entity because they fixed the roads. They said, oh well, all the EU money. Well, I wouldn't even want the EU money. Getting this money for free, like where does this money even come from? It's like tax money supposedly, but it's like we're getting this money for free, and when you get money, you obviously owe somebody something. Like nothing is for free, right? Yeah, it's just terrible stuff. The EU has just completely destroyed the country. I mean, people talk about IR exit. Like, what would you think? It would be good to like leave the EU? Yeah. I say that all the time, but like, I don't know, in practical, it should work, right?
Yeah, well, it's just like if giving up a currency, that was a bad idea. Like giving away the funds, that was the biggest mistake that Irish people have made, because now the European Central Bank can control like the value of the euro. They can inflate it. Like so that's the reason why like everything is so expensive. Is because there's so little value to the euro that they can just inflate the cost of it. And things just keep getting more and cost more. It's like having some sort of Asian currency at the moment where you have a lot of it, but it really has no value to it. And as inflation kind of goes on, that's what's going to happen to the value of the euro. It's going to keep dropping.
It's crazy.
So like if we had more control over our economy when we had our own currency, and then on top of that, it's like the EU completely dictates absolutely everything that happens in Ireland as well. When you look at all Ireland, Micheál Martin, Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil, Sinn Féin, right, they're all part of European parties as well. They're run out of the EU. They're all European-based parties, the European left, like all of these other groups. And if you look at these parties, and that's the one thing that should never be allowed to happen in Irish politics, of where like people vote specifically for these people to represent the Irish people through the Irish government. If Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil are part of European parties and they have their own ideology and their own agenda, like how is that beneficial?
Yeah.
If you look at Sinn Féin, the far left, people for profit, like they like every single thing that they have in terms of like protest material. It's the exact same as the protest material that you'd see like all across Europe. The same type of posters, the same type of boards, the same mantra, the same like all the same slogans, it's the same everything. So like there isn't anything unique to the far left movements in this country at the moment, for example.
Right. And like it was funny because like I remember even seeing your live stream the last day. You said, you know, everyone in we're from Galway. Like it's like people are very left here, right? So like even growing up, like you know, you had the Che Guevara T-shirt. I remember we had the same thing from Pennies, you know. And like I probably didn't like. Obviously, I didn't know what it was at the time. You know, I'm 12 years old, right? My brother buys it, and we're all having fun with it and this kind of thing. And it's revolutionary and stuff. But now you see like this left wing kind of agenda has just gone absolutely crazy. It's gone to a point where they're now agreeing with everything the government says, like whereas it before used to be completely anti-government, like it's like a complete shill for the government.
Yeah, well, it's just like you probably remember me from school.
Yeah.
And in school they would have called me a hippie, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Me too.
Like I had a big mass afro, like you know what I mean?
yeah.
I had rock t-shirts. I used to play drums in a band.
Yeah.
So to go from like being called or be kind of known as being kind of a nice quiet lad, like a bit of a hippie, but like whatever.
Yeah, hippie.
Yeah, like hippie, like you know what I mean.
It's if you don't play hurling, like that's basically.
yeah. So like I'm well used to labels, like
right. Me too.
I've been dating with labels for years. So to go from being called a hippie to a Nazi.
Mm.
That's
It's bizarre.
That's some segue really, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, the left here is not really, because even a lot of my friends from Galway, like, people don't really, I think it's gotten more open now, people on the left, but you definitely see a more of a side where people are saying, oh, I don't agree with what you're saying, but really what we're saying is not anything extreme. I know to us, I would say things maybe sometimes extreme, but that's kind of like maybe some parties when you see, like, what's that guy's name from the National Socialist Party, and like, he's like a self-proclaimed Nazi, right? But the thing is, I think for the vast majority of people, maybe that's somewhere down the line, they want that, they see that as like the ultimate. But really, realistically, most people, I would say most people on the right, or that you see like elderly, mothers like 50, 60, or like parents, like, they're mostly like more traditional conservative, like, like Trump conservative and stuff like that, right? It would be more so like that.
It's that, and a lot of those people would have been traditionally Sinn Féin voters as well.
Right.
And to realise that Sinn Féin...
Tyrannical open borders right now.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, like, I voted for Sinn Féin for a very long time. I would have voted for the leftist independence.
Yeah, right.
Like, you know what I mean? And I would have gave them a go, like, but then the more I kind of seen what they were pushing for, it just seems that every single political party was just 100% aligned with everything that was happening in the country, at least from what the EU wanted to see in Ireland. And he was just like, I didn't feel as if we had any representation.
Nothing.
And at the time then, I was kind of looking at the parties that were there, and I was just like, well what's the alternative? And I was just like, we're actually screwed as a country.
Yeah.
There literally is no alternative in this country.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
This was 7 years ago, like, and it's a very, very early foundation of the likes of the Irish Freedom Party, like Anti-Corruption Ireland, ASCI, like you would have had the National Party as well, and like obviously as time goes on, like they make their mistakes, like, as well, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it. I mean, you can explain even to the people watching, like, a lot of people, I have viewers from the US or the UK, and a lot of people in Ireland too, but like, what would like even be the alternative party now? Like, who would people vote for? Because even I see so much infighting. Like I said, I would never try and attack somebody on our side. I just would, just out of principle. I'm like that kind of guy, like, even if I disagree with your opinion, but you're conservative, I'm just going to let it go, like, because I want to see more right-leaning politics come in, like.
Yeah,
I'm laid back like that. I don't even care like that,
Yeah, see, like, unfortunately, after every election, there's just a bit of fallout, anyways. Like, so the same thing happens back, like prior to the last election as well. There's always going to be a bit of a fallout after elections, and it's kind of the same thing as going to a protest where something happens, you have 100,000 people, they're all fenced up, like, you know what I mean, like, and they go out to their day in Dublin and have their protests, and then they all go to home, and the adrenaline wears down,
right?
And it's just like, okay, well, what happens?
We achieve nothing, right? Or someone, and this is the debate I always have with people, like,
and it's a long game. Really.
Right. It is a long. It's a super long game. Like with the protests, like, because you can explain more. Because I've only been to one. You're like a flipping leader in everything, I know. Like, but even I've been to one, and it's like really good to see that, and it was great to see that. John Wilson, I believe that the guy, the whistleblower and stuff was there, or John. I think his name is John Wilson, and I met John Waters at James Conway's podcast and stuff. I saw him there. I talked to him for a second, but. Really great things from the protests, but does that really even? Because I know James Conway was saying, for the best of my knowledge, he says it doesn't really achieve too much. Now I'm starting to see maybe the social media side is definitely getting a lot more eyes. Like the protests are good because they see you on the street and people get to see you, and it's really good. But the social media aspect where you're pushing heavily and you get millions of people watching you, like that's really powerful.
Yeah. But see, the sad thing is, like, people think that it's going nowhere, but we are going somewhere. And
I think so too.
Yeah,
I agree big time. I think it's this year's been huge, like
it has been. And if people were there back in 2019, like when I first started, I tell you one thing, it's a very lonely place back in 2019.
Exactly. That's why I want to hear, like,
very lonely place back in 2019, when it saw it start, like, and like there was nothing in the country. There's only like maybe 40, 50 to 100 people throughout the country who were like maybe a bit kind of savvy to what's happening, and slowly people kind of started waking up, as kind of started seeing things. But like this movement started from like a handful of people from every county across the country to like the hundreds of thousands of people that you see today that are protesting against it. So we are going places. It's just like we have to back people. Like,
right, that's a big thing. I'm always saying if they put forward someone, like they put forward you, James Conway, they put someone that's the guy. That's like our, not just compared to Trump, but like that's like our guy on the right that's conservative. I'd back him. I don't even care who. It just push that one guy instead of having. I see lots of different people online, and they're all amazing. They're all great people. But maybe we're kind of leading to that. Maybe it's like kind of starting to form to that. Like who would be like the person that you would see as like that's the top figure? I don't even know.
See, it's kind of a tricky one because see, like people like to pick a champion, you know, and it's like we just have to realise that there's no Trump in Ireland. There's no JD fans. Like if you were to look around, like, and if you were to hope to see this person in this one individual in Ireland, like it's not going to happen. Like you just have to take the people for what they're worth.
Right. Okay.
And if they prove themselves, like then they prove themselves. But like Ireland's a very, very small country. The political scene in this country is very small. There's very few people that would be interested to get involved in politics to a certain degree. But there are people that are trying. But see, his infighting then that kind of ruins things. So like as of now, like I find it hard to say like which is the best person to follow because it's going to annoy this person.
Oh really? Okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
And like I'll be honest, like I'm not a very divisive figure in the movement.
Right.
I'm actually probably the least
hands up more. Yeah. I get
like
you.
I don't really get involved in arguments or issues or fallouts or anything like that.
Yeah.
And just kind of personally speaking, like it's just pick a horse and back it and just see it over the line.
Yeah, me too. That's why I figure as well. You pick a horse and back. I love that. That's a good analogy. Yeah. Pick a horse for the race and then just see like what's gonna. I just feel like that's just the best tactic. Like even now, like I mean, I don't know. Like who was on there was a Galway West guy, David O'Reilly. I think I voted for him when he was on it. Like, and I just voted for him because like he's just the right leaning candidate. And I think your man Albert Dolan won or whatever his name is. And he's actually kind of okay. Like he's growing a little bit. He's like talking about iPass centers and that kind of thing. Even though I know he's still Fianna Fáil, which is, a disaster. But like, you see certain people now coming out because it's more like a mainstream thing. Like, and you see people talking about it a lot more.
Yeah, there's David O'Reilly. It's been around now since the start as well. And it was actually David O'Reilly that got me. Like we would have done an awful lot of work at the start.
Oh, amazing! Cool.
Yeah, like in a sense, like we kind of found each other. I had a good time.
Yeah.
And so I backed Davis when he ran in the local elections the first time as well. And it's what it's all about. Like it's just if you see somebody who's trying to do something, just go out and help them. But at the same time, whenever you see the likes of like Albert Dolan and Louis O'Hara of Sinn Féin, and then you see the Fine Gael local councillors in Kildare, for example, like Paul Killalay and PJ Murphy. Like they're all claiming to represent an issue which has been created by their political party. So like I see that all as theatrics. Like this whole like PJ Murphy and Paul Killalay demanding answers from Fine Gael, like a party that they're part of.
Right. I get you. Yeah, I get you what you mean now. Right.
And it's the same thing as Albert Dolan. So like it's kind of mad that they had dropped an issue for 5-6 years and then. Like now it's a big problem.
Like that's the thing, 100%. Like that. Did you see recently with Simon Harris? He coming out now. He's saying like this huge U-turn. Like there's too many people in the country. There's not enough houses for every. I think he said for every 10,000 people we bring in, we have to build 3,000 new homes. And he's kind of like building up this sort of like rhetoric now. It's like more right-wing rhetoric, and like we've been saying this for the last. I mean, you guys have like I said, I've only started getting into it for the last 2.5 years, starting to understand what's happening here because it's so like pushed down by the mainstream media. You actually have to look for it yourself. Like it's bizarre, but you see him now doing a huge U-turn because he sees the tide turning. When he said that a few weeks ago, it completely just blew. I didn't show it too much when I was reacting to it on the channel, but it just completely changed. For me, it was like, oh, we're winning massively now, like, because if the mainstream are starting to say it, like, it's over for them,
Yeah, but see, like, the thing is, like Irish people are very reactionary to what happens. So they won't react until they see something, and then they're like, okay, crap, like, well, now it's actually happening. And then they go off and lose the heads. Like, but at that stage, like,
it's too late.
Yeah, it's too late. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just to a certain degree, like a serious amount of damage is done to the country. You're looking at like another 4 years of waiting to get people in that will actually do something properly about it. Even if we get to a point in 4 years of where we do get a large number of people from a conservative viewpoint into politics, like, and that's just fingers crossed. Like, if this rolls on for another 5 years after that rolls on for another 10 years, like, I don't want to even be in this country anymore.
I know, I agree 100%.
Like,
I'd be saying that.
Yeah, because I don't want to see the way this country is going to go.
Yeah.
Because
what do you think is going to happen if that keeps going?
Well,
just mass open borders, mass poverty.
Well, if it's just
digital ID.
Well, it's just a very small country. There's only a couple of million of us, isn't there? Yeah, you know what I mean. The birth rates are going down. The government doesn't seem to want us to be able to buy houses and have children and just get on comfortably in our own country. So, like, it's kind of gaslighting, really, when you see them. Like, I'm not trying to say anything, but like bringing nurses over from India, giving them houses, giving them good jobs in hospitals, and then like Irish girls have to go to Australia.
Oh, it's just a disaster.
And it's things like that. Like, it's just like, okay, well, if the HSE is going to provide housing to these people, why not provide housing to the Irish nurses?
100%.
Like,
I think
keep them in the country. Like,
yeah,
you know
even
what I mean?
a citizenship, that's just like a basic level. We don't talk about like the Irish ethnicity, but just a basic citizenship. Like, if you don't have that, how the hell are you entitled to anything? Like, you know, just to me, it's bizarre stuff. In the Middle East, they give you, if you're a citizen, they give you flipping houses, they give you flipping money, they give you flipping cars, accommodation. Like, here, it's like you're a citizen just means nothing. It just means, and I don't know, did it ever mean anything? Because was Ireland ever a sovereign country? It went from basically being under British rule to now being ruled by the EU. What was that space of time? When was the EU founded? Like, it was founded quite shortly after World War II or whatever. So it's like, or even before then. But then it's like a disaster now. We have like people that are coming here, no citizenship, no background, no cultural knowledge of the country. It's like a economy purposes. But how long does the economy last for? What if the EU collapses or whatever? What if people are just leaving here?
Yeah, well, see, like, I've no problem with like natural migration, where like you go off, you travel, you meet somebody from another country, you fall in love with them, and then you move back to the home country, and
right.
You know what I mean? Like that's the old classic love story. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's absolutely no problem with that. Like, sure, that's how I live my life today.
Me too. Yeah, my
like,
mom, you know.
It's how my grandparents. It's how my grandparents left. I'm like, I'm part German. But
and I'm part Czech as well.
Yeah, but like it's very different when they actually try to. This is literally trying to completely change the identity of the country, and they're calling it the New Ireland, and it seems to be coming at the complete compromise of particularly young Irish men. And like we seem to be being discriminated against in an awful lot of different areas and jobs. To be honest with you, like these whole like diversity quotas, like companies like basically saying that we're hiring less Irish people, like in order to make our workplace more diverse. Like is that not racism?
Yeah, it's clear racism.
Like is that not the most racist thing that a company in Ireland can even can do? Is to deliberately not hire Irish workers in order to make the workplace more diverse. Like that is.
It's bizarre.
So racist.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's
like,
bizarre.
Like especially in a small country like Ireland, and like it's just like I've worked in the private sector. Like I've worked in a lot of factories. I've worked in about five, 6 different pharmaceutical factories, and I've seen the changes that have happened, and there's some things that I can't say, and there's some things that I can't say, like I can't name companies or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like I seen the complete direct replacement of nearly like a fifth of an Irish workforce in a company in the space of 2 or 3 months.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
And to measures that he was insane. Like,
yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, even when we talk about immigration, I always talk about it on the channel. I say, you know, it's not necessarily about the people, because people want to make it like this race, religion thing.
It has nothing to do with people.
Right. It's for me, it's a lot of the population, right? It's like the amount of people. That's what I hear a lot of people talk about as well. Like you can't have 10 million Chinese people, 10 million Indian come in to overthrow the country. That just doesn't make any sense. Like, and that could theoretically happen, right, Alan?
Yeah, well, like I can sit down, I can get on with anybody, but it's very different when it's agenda driven. Like you have a couple of old cooks and crannies now like I'm not sure if they're just very bitter, they know their time's coming to an end, and they just want to ruin our country.
Right.
And it's like it's a weird form of bitterness that's coming from that sort of generation, where it's just like, okay, like her time is coming now in 10 or 15 years. So, right. Like they won't have to see the damage that's been done. But
it's suicidal behavior.
Yeah.
Because you know, when you see people that are hurt, they're hurting. Maybe they had a shit life. Maybe they're abused. Whatever happened to them, and now they're just trying to put that suicidal empathy, you know, we call it, I'm bringing people over, or like they don't care about their lives. You said like 10, 15 years left, so that's it now. Like, that's it now. I'm gonna be gone, so everyone else can live in hell.
And that's what it feels like to a certain degree. And it's the same thing. Like, and that just feels that's the attitude that I personally get. Like, even when I was working in companies, like, the first thing that I'll be told you if you had an issue or any problem with the place, like, it's just, like, feck off and leave, like.
Right.
Or go abroad, like a foreigner would be in your job, and that was said to my face on a couple of occasions.
Wow.
And I was just like, well, if that's the attitude of the generation, like, above, like, we're screwed. We're absolutely fecked. Like,
100%. That's in a Galway company. That's in Galway in a company, or there's certain different places.
That was Galway.
In Ireland or whatever,
Like that's man, like, only living a couple of kilometres down the road.
Wow,
so, Like, once again, I won't name names.
Yeah.
Like, but these aren't made up stories. Like,
And it's unbelievable. No, I believe you. It's unbelievable. You know what I mean? That, like, people, and like, there's something not right about, like, Irish people having to leave their country. Like, even my dad had to leave for many years to like actually start. And we came back home. We could kind of get a house, but the house really wasn't like, you know, we had like a little mortgage, and then, like, we couldn't even afford a car when we came back. We had, like, it was just such a disaster when we came back home. And you'd think, like, that my dad would land into a job with all this experience of working as a secondary school teacher, working in the flipping Air Force, and working in these great jobs abroad. All of a sudden he comes home, you're treated like a flipping second-class citizen. Yeah, this is the whole thing about Ireland. It's just like, we're just, you know.
And I'll give your father credit as well. He was actually one of my favourite teachers.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I know, seriously, like, of all people, like Mr. Walsh, like, absolute legend.
I appreciate that. My dad loved that. Do you know, but my dad, he remembers you too. He says, you know, you know, all the people that he taught were great, like Chris and Alan, and, you know, I know our brothers know each other. Yeah. This is Alan Sweeney. I haven't even introduced my friend here, Alan Sweeney, but I've known you quite a while.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to you too much in a while, but, you know, times have been hectic. But
I remember the first time I saw you. You were actually smaller than me.
Yeah.
It's completely
right.
You're about double the size from now.
Yeah, right. We were in the same school together, secondary school. Our brothers know each other, but it's just crazy. Like, just even thinking back to Gort days, and, like, Gort was a multicultural place. Like, we had Brazilians, we had members of the traveling community, we had lots of different people, we had, like, African people, we had a lot of different people, and it seemed to kind of work back then, because the numbers weren't like this, like, unbelievable, like, every single person in the school is some foreign person. Now it's just like, I don't even know, I see people now, it's like the whole of Galway has changed. Galway is just flipping, it's a disaster now, the way I see it.
But like, even if people were to remember me from Gart school, like any allegation that has been said about me for the past 4 or 5 years, like, is completely like misrepresentative of the type of person I am.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still the quiet, like the quiet lads that people used to know.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like they've attacked my livelihoods to a certain degree, and when they attacked my livelihoods, then I had to defend myself to a certain degree.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course you do.
I know, because I went from working 3 years in the company, just about to be promoted into like, literally quality supervisor of a whole facility, to the next second being, like, gaslit and being kicked out of the company and bullied, like.
Jeez.
Like simply for saying that the local hotel was going to be closed indefinitely, like.
Wow.
And he was mad that.
It was over that you just posted to Facebook or whatever, and or you just talked about
Yeah,
it.
like that was how this all started.
Jesus,
Like that was how it all
it's
started.
unbelievable. And everyone now,
what I
that's
mean?
mainstream. Like everyone agrees with that.
Yeah.
Like,
And this is how like all these walks started, all these different protests started, like how it got involved in politics and how it started looking out of the boxes, because like my livelihood was under attack, and he was under. See, like I didn't think that people would take it that seriously to go that far, to go after people's jobs and to go after their name and their reputation, and like it wasn't just like people saying stuff about you online. Like this was people following you around the street, like filming you, like waiting for you to tell them to feck off, or like, just to make you look like some sort of asshole or something.
Jesus.
And like dealing with stalkers for years, like people filming me, people setting me up like traps. And you have to be very careful once you step out. Like there's all these different like manipulations, all these different traps, like all of these different situations where they can try to turn people against you. Like for example, I was in Limerick and like, oh yeah, like Alan Sweeney went off and kicked the cup, like I had this person like, but it didn't show you one. Like assaulting.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, yeah, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Like, it's just bullshit. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like they didn't show us slapping a cup of coffee out of my hands.
Right.
The fact that I used to assault us. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
of course.
So but they'll take that. Like
they take that 10-second clip and they'll publicise it like.
And it's the same thing like up on Tunnel in Dublin on Conor Bridge. Like they're like we were at a march there, and there's about 78 people waiting for us on the bridge, like for metal pipes, like and hammers and everything. Like
Jesus.
Like and like they went off and had a bit of a go. It's like there was bones broken and everything.
Wow.
And one of the activists like broke away from the group, like and she got into a fight and she fell onto the ground, and I was just like, well, will you fucking stop, like, because like this, you had gone a bit too far at that stage, like, and then after that, like, it was just like, oh, Alan Sweeney's after like punching and kicking us one on the ground.
Oh
like,
yeah,
like,
right.
I mean? Like,
It's all bullshit. It's all contrived, like
exaggerated, like nonsense, like bullshit. And then you're kind of looking at it, and so you see the bad thing about media is that people want to see the worst in you. Like they don't want to see the other side. Like sometimes they just want to see that bit of drama.
Exactly.
And that bit of drama is just enough to float their boat. Like,
Get views.
Yeah, and the truth doesn't really matter after that. Like, and that's where like people have to question. Like who's providing this information? Are they credible voice? If someone's calling you far right, like who is it? You know what I mean?
Like that's bizarre. And like, where are the Gardaí in all this? I feel like the Gardaí is like, they're obviously positioned in a way where they're supposed to be sort of hands off, not supposed to be backing left or right. They're supposed to be indifferent to everybody. But now it definitely seems like, you know, they're protecting maybe the left. I don't want to say that outright, but does it seem like that to you a little bit? Like they're if they have weapons and you guys are just standing there with flags, and then people are like, oh, these people are attacking me. It's just a bizarre case.
It's the one thing you notice is like first when all of these movements start off, first we'll start off with the far left and Antifa saying, oh, like call your names, racist, far right, or you're this, you're that. And once those NGO groups and once they get completely outnumbered, that's when the guards start coming in. And it was the same thing during the lockdowns as well. It's once the far left, their fights and their intimidation didn't matter anymore. That's when they had to go to the extreme.
Right.
And that's the same thing that's happening with the whole issue with the asylum seekers in this country at the moment as well, where first it started off with like maybe a handful of people, like and like there could be 40 people saying, oh, shut up, like you're a racist, you're a Nazi, leave the refugees alone. You know what I mean? And then like once it goes off and it turns into 300 people against 40 people, like that's when you see the uniforms coming in.
Right, got you.
Know what I mean?
That's a good point, because now I see like I see in the rallies and stuff, like, or like the counter protests, there's like 20 people in the counter protests, or even like there's like 3 or 4 people in Sligo. I saw one, and like on the right there's like hundreds of people, there's thousands of people. Like they're obviously losing numbers. The numbers are dwindling. The actual hold back the backing to them. Maybe even with Donald Trump, he cut the NGO funding like in Europe at the USAID, and I don't know, does that have an impact? But I think pretty sure anything they do is massive on the world stage. So they're cut all this funding for NGOs, so like they have no money to be paying these actors to go to this flipping stuff to anti-protest. Like anti-protest what? What are you guys even anti-protesting? It's anti-putting your own people first, and they don't even know. They're like lemmings walking off their cliff. They're like digging their own grave, so to speak, because like they're the ones that are getting impacted as well. None of these people are doing anything like that's like even professional. It's just crazy stuff,
Yeah, but see, people don't realise that the level of foreign political interference that happens in this country, the level of foreign political interference in this country is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, like who has really benefited from anything that's happened in this country over the past 5 years, and it's really the hoteliers and the people that were able to transform the buildings into these high-pass centres. Like there was no planning permission required, you know what I mean? And then they're after getting a 30-40 million euro contract. So
Wow.
like they're the only benefactors through this.
Right. And like even look at City West Hotel, 150 million, 148 million. That's
huge.
massive
That's
money.
money.
I mean, this isn't like someone's getting paid a few thousand a month. Like one guy I saw was getting paid 60,000 a month, which is massive money to me. I mean, it's just like unbelievably bizarre money to sell your country down the river. But it's like you're getting the government to buy these hotels at 148 million. I mean, what are they getting paid in Kinvara? You probably know the inside scoop to Kinvara. Kinvara is massive. I remember when that first happened, and I don't even remember. Unfortunately, I remember many people talking about it. I wasn't in the loop back then. Like I said, I was completely oblivious. I was like 24, 23 years old, completely out partying in Galway. I didn't even know what the hell was going on. And now as you get older, you're like, this is such a travesty. It just happened right there, which is just a flipping 2 minutes down the road. And it's just a flipping disaster, like.
Yeah, but see, like the reason why I kind of reacted to it as well was because he was so close to my grandmother's house as well.
Yeah.
God bless her soul. Like she's only 40. Her house is only 40 meters away from the hotel, and I just know for a fact that if she was alive today, that she would be absolutely outraged.
Yeah.
She'd be absolutely infuriated. And
I used to go there with my mum, my grandma. You know that.
Yeah.
We used to go for a walk in Kinvara. My grandma, who's like flipping 75 years old, she comes over every year. We used to go get a half pint of Guinness or a pint of Guinness. We'd sit there, we'd relax. I remember when it was open. This is back years ago now, like.
Yeah, but see, like in a sense, like it's just like we do have a duty, like as Irishmen in our 30s, like to look back and think, well what did their great grandparents want? Mm-hmm. Right, like what did their grandparents want? Like these are the people that we're representing today. Like we are the descendants of freedom fighters, of the people who went through a serious extreme hardship, like.
Yeah.
Like to model the country of what it is today, and if we are privileged to the point of where like we didn't have to experience British occupation, like we were born during the Celtic Tiger when we actually had 10 or 15 years good times in this country. Like we only had about 10 or 15 years good times in this country, but like we were fortunate enough to be born during the good times in it. But it's just like this whole country is just turned into a massive honeypot cash cow operation.
And even like if the industries were to lose, like if we were to lose, I was just discussing with my friend yesterday, if we were to lose a lot of these American industries, like someone said yesterday, American capitalism pays for Irish socialism. Like, if we were to lose a lot of these like businesses like the flipping pharmacy industry, like Boston Scientific, we were to lose all these companies in Galway.
We're screwed.
I mean, what would happen now?
We're screwed.
Like what would happen? I mean, the country would be like Galway specifically. I mean, everybody would have to move to Dublin. Right, which I mean, Dublin's already overthrown with people. So then, what the hell would happen? You'd just a complete disaster.
Hence, you know what? I think maybe that's the best thing to happen to this country.
I said the same thing too.
It's probably the best thing. Just strip all the multinationals out of the country and send us back to the Stone Age.
Yeah, and see what happens then. Yeah, I said that as well.
We could see how fast the housing issue gets resolved in this country when there's nothing to offer people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe that's the best thing to happen is for the economy to crash, and we could see how fast the accommodation gets cheap when. Right, because like
It's like the house prices now, you know, they're just massive. You look at one little 1-bedroom apartment, it's like 250,000 euro for like a flipping nothing for a shed. Then you look at most places, 400,000. 400,000 for what? You know, you're looking at the economy like that. The bricks doesn't even cost that much. It's a bullshit.
And to be honest with you, like even if Trump was to tariff the pharmaceutical industries and if he was to pull them out of the country, like after what I've seen personally, and how I've been treated, and what I've seen through the hiring process, like to be honest, they're of no benefit to the Irish people at the moment. Like I walked into a job interview there in Galway City to work in a medical device factory. Once again, I won't say the company's name, but I've the only Irish person. I was 17 people that was there. I was the only qualified I was the only qualified person for the job.
Yeah.
The person had a qualification in and an experience in the field that I was going into. I was the only person who had experience working on microscopes. I was the only person who had experience in working in a factory.
And for those who don't know, Alan's not bullshitting. He has a science degree. He's a scientist. He knows about the lockdowns. He knows about all the travesty that happened back then as well. He's actually experienced in pharmaceuticals. But sorry, go ahead. Yeah, you went into the place.
And then like every other person that I was going for the jobs, they were either from like India or Spain or
yeah.
And like it's nothing against these people, but I was looking at that and I was just like, how am I the only Irish person here?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Like, there's something seriously wrong with this.
Yeah.
And
this is recently as well.
It's recently. It's only about a year ago. It's very recent. And
I figured out the same thing, Alan, not to interrupt you. I remember when I left college, I got a job working in the health food shop Evergreen. I'll say whatever, I don't give a shit. Evergreen in this Galway shop. I knew it was good. They gave me, this is during the lockdowns. I had a mask on. There was a flipping a thing up, a piece of plastic, and then they had a mask on. Yeah. I couldn't hear anything that these fucking people were saying. So I was like, it was hard to communicate. And then after that, I got more of a professional job working in like you, more professional, working in like a sales role because I had a business degree, right, from college in Galway as well. And like, I just couldn't I got a sale, and I was getting like 2,000 euro a month, 1,800 a month. I was adding up the numbers in my head, like I was calculating between the car, between the house. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to afford anything in this country. Yeah. It's just not going to happen. Like there's no pushing of like I said, will I get a raise? There's no raises here unless you go to Dublin. Then there's more American companies and you get higher up there in IT maybe. But here it's a disaster. There's just no way. And yeah, you talk about not many people from Ireland being in the recruitment process. I mean, and they don't even hire Irish people. They look at you and they say, "Oh, this guy has more advantages than flipping these people. Let's not hire this guy."
Yeah, and
it's just bizarre.
And then I want to investigate that. Like, and I was like, well, why is it like this now in Galway? And then I went off and I looked at recruitment agencies and the people who were working and the people who were working in recruitment agencies are literally far left extremists.
Oh, Jesus.
Like Antifa. Like,
yeah.
I'm not joking. Like,
yeah.
Jesus
Christ.
Like these are people who were involved with people for profit, like Irgi, like in Galway, like, and these are the people who were dictating who were getting into these pharmaceutical jobs. And like I was asking myself, like why am I having such a difficult time trying to get on? Mm-hmm. And it's just like, well, that's why. Mm-hmm. Like you have far left extremists like dictating who are getting these jobs.
Yeah, 100%.
It's insane.
It's absolutely crazy. And like I said, I even figured out that I got the sales role just to finish off. I just forgot there. I just basically that job kind of fizzled out. I had about 2 or 3 good sales jobs with PayPal and this kind of thing for about a year and a half. And then all of a sudden the work just dwindled. They were like, oh, there's not much being sold here in Ireland. I was selling stem cells, actually, like medical procedures to people in London, people in Manchester. And then the work, his company basically just evaporated, right? Because it went dissipated. Then I was trying and I could not find a job for months. And at the time I was doing YouTube, like, and then I started to kind of make okay from that. But like, if you don't have your own business or something to keep you strong, you're screwed. Like, how the hell do you even live here? It's crazy.
Yeah, well, like to do make things very hard, and then on top of that, like unless you're willing to go full blown communist or full blown lefty, like you're screwed, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was safe for a while, like, you know what I mean? Like I was a lefty.
Right.
When I was wearing the Shake with Fair t-shirts and when I saw that scene and I didn't have any problems, like, but when I started to say, well, okay, like now I'm a bit interested as to the real detail as to what's happening in the country and
yeah.
what it's the real agenda
Yes.
and what the long-term effects are going to be. Like that's when you can start getting attacked, and the closer you get to the truth, that's when you do start hitting the nail on the head with things like that's when things start getting a bit dirty.
Yeah, for sure. And the hate starts getting piled on you, like, you know, it's unbelievable.
But like I wouldn't let that dictate people at the same time, because like
you're finished anyway. I said that in the video before. People are so worried about their jobs and stuff, but it's like you're not going to have a job to go to anyway, because it's going to be evaporated. They're going to be hiring all these people. They're bringing a mass influx of people, and like I remember even before they started bringing people in, I remember that actually started happening just right after college, and there was so many jobs. Every job I applied for, I got every job. And then in the last 4 years, I was applying. In the last 2 years, 3 years, oh Jesus, I couldn't get anything. There was such an influx of people, because and the people that were running the jobs, that were giving people, hiring people, they had to hire everyone because it was in there, and they had to give us good wages. But now they've just driven the cost of labor so down low.
Yeah, and that's true. Like when I finished college, it was very, very easy to find work. It's actually very easy to find work. What I did was I worked at supermarkets for a year, just to show that I could hold down a full-time job for a year, that I could go through the whole process, that like I could do it to 9 to 5 without there being as little issue as possible. And then after that, I went into the pharmaceutical industry. I started working for a pharmaceutical industry up in Sligo. Started off in there, I was working in production. It's only a short-term contract for 9 months. That contract ended. Then after that, they actually gave me a job in supply chain then, because they kind of saw a bit of good in me, and they gave me another 9 months in the company through that. And after that, I came back down to Galway, and I spent 3 years working in Chanel. And when I first came out of college, and when I was in college, you're looking at rental costs of being 40-50 euro a week.
Yeah.
Like literally 200 euro a month. So,
I remember that. So
it's what people are paying per week. Per week now is what we were paying per month. When I was in college, and it was back in 2010, 2011.
Yeah, what are the house prices now? I didn't even, I lived at home the whole time. Like, what even are the house prices? I didn't even bother looking, because I hear from friends it's a nightmare. I never even bothered. I remember in college, I maybe lived out of house at my friend's house for a few months in like second year. But now it's just like, there's no way you're going to get, and if you get an accommodation, you're living with 5 other men, and it's just a disaster. Who wants to do that? You can't start a family. There's no opportunity to rise higher. You're getting crucified with rent. Like, what even is the rent prices on? I don't even know what the hell like 800 euro a month or something like that for a room.
It's insane. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like he wouldn't, like it's just a big scam now at this stage. Like, it really is. And sure, you look at those properties. Like how many houses have been built in the country since? Like these properties that are now charging people 800 euro a month for, they're charging them 200 euro a month back in the day.
Yeah.
How was the value of that property has increased?
4 times. That's not happened. Not happened.
What is the justification in the landlord's head to kind of think, okay, for the common good of this country, I'm going to completely rip off like every single tenant that I have to the point of where, like, just to see how far I can get away with it.
And it's not even a good business move. You want to get more people and more, you want to get you charge cheaper rent, because that's, you get more people who are working then, and they can stay longer, and it's like a bad business move. And then now it's like, I'm not sure if it's maybe a top-down leadership, because the government are charging so much, maybe in taxes for these properties as well, the property owners, but it's just bizarre stuff. Well,
it's just. Yeah, it's just an awful lot of money, and like all it does affect then is it's just people being able to get their independence, like being able to get out of their parents' homes. Like say 70% of our generation are still stuck living at their parents' homes.
Me too.
So like and that's just the way, like that's just the way things are gone. Like it's not our fault. Like that's just the way that government seems to want it.
Yep.
And on top of that, like, it seems to be putting people in their place and celebrating them. And if you complain about it, then you cast out completely.
Yeah. Like, it's super unfair to me.
So it's just shut up and put up. Like,
yeah. It's super unfair to me, like how in 2025, or well, I don't know if it's nowadays. This was back when you first started. Like, if you were to even question anything, you're like this far right conspiracy theorist. You're out in left field. Like I love the conspiracy since, like I said, since I was a kid, 14, 13. I was watching all these shows, listening to these guys in the US, and the US are pretty forward thinking with that kind of stuff. You know, with the chemtrails, this whole kind of thing. If you believe in it or not, but now it's coming out. A lot of this stuff is true, but it's like you're starting to realize, like, well, was questioning things obviously a good thing? You know, you have to question things for sure. At least question everything you hear, you know, from somebody, right?
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, like it's just like there, like behind every agenda, there's so many benefits to it. Like, you know, like whenever you see like these wars going on, like the war in Ukraine, for example, like the amount of money that is created through humanitarian aid, and the amount of money that is created through from the development of warheads and military, it's
astronomical.
Billions. It's billions.
Yeah.
Like, and see, like there's so much money through the humanitarian process as well, that it creates an industry in it. And if there's money to be made in something, then they'll keep doing it. And that's what like people have to consider is like are they creating these wars on purpose, like just to create a problem? Just to generate revenue from it. Because the one thing that I used to do, I used to do proofreading. And I actually did a proofreading for this Iraqi professor in London.
Oh wow!
And the one thing that he was talking about was the war in Iraq. And
everyone was against that, right? A lot of people, but they were for that, right? They were. It was Bush and everything went in. And
the theory he was talking about was constructive chaos, he called it, where they'd create chaos in a country in order to create profit from it.
Yep.
So if you cause war, like then, like it's all that money for military, it's all that money for military aid. Like it's
the military-industrial complex, you know.
It's all about money and generation of revenue for it.
There was a guy, this is a great book I always tell people, it's called General Smedley Butler. I don't know if you've ever heard, this guy has 2 medals of honor, like, and he talks about war as a racket. He goes, every war that the US has fought in since World War II, they've made profit on. Like, it's incredible. And actually, that's one of the things they say why they killed JFK, because he didn't want to send in, and then all of a sudden Halliburton, all these massive Apache helicopters.
Vietnam, wasn't it?
Yeah, in Vietnam, they didn't want to go into Vietnam, and then all of a sudden they killed JFK, and I think they ordered, like, within 2 days of his death.
I was actually watching a documentary on that recently. Like, and he was literally right after the assassination of JFK.
2 days or something.
Right into Vietnam,
it was like it was 3 days
like,
after. Lyndon Johnson, who was it? 2 days after. Who was it? One of the presidents of the US. He like ordered the flipping. He ordered just the immediate attack. Like I think it was Johnson. Yeah, they said that he had a massive play in actually killing JFK as well, but they ordered 50,000 Apache helicopters, which is talking about the biggest money ever, and they made tons of money from that war. Korea War, they've been in a perennial war, the US, like, and that kind of affects Europe as well, you know, because now Europe is just like this breeding ground for shit. Like we have all these refugees coming over from Ukraine as well, and it's like you saw one refugee got killed, 17-year-old got stabbed 100 times by some psycho from Somalia, they said, or East Africa. You know, we don't know who these people are. I always say, Alan, like, you know, I'm big into the military stuff, like, and maybe you are as well. I'm big into the military, law enforcement. They have people coming over for Al-Shabaab, Boko Haram. We don't even know who the hell these people are. There's no background checks. They could be sleeper cells.
Yeah, and that's what I worry about as well, is like they could be sleeper cells, and it's just...
Nobody talks about that here. You know, for some reason in Ireland, we're very like, we don't listen to the US. Like, the US has experienced the UK has experienced all this shit. In Ireland, we think we're like immune to it for some reason. We're like, oh no, maybe we support Palestine, so like it's okay, nobody should hurt us. It's like, dude, that's not, they don't see it like that.
I know, but what they see it as, it's that these people are terrorist sympathizers. And like Hamas is Hamas at the end of the day. Like, and we saw what Hamas did, like once the Israelis did come out of Palestine. Right, they went off and
killed everyone.
Yeah, they started killing people. And it's just like I support people as people, but I don't support a terrorist organisation.
Right, 100%.
Like especially it has the mindset of a caliphate that tried to take over Europe multiple occasions, like over a 1500 year period. You know what I mean? And this is the mindset, like take over Europe, take over Europe, take over Europe, and it's just to be honest with you, like you only have to look at like places like Sweden and Germany and France and Spain and
disasters.
And like it's not hypothetical. Like these crimes are happening. Like particularly women and children are being attacked. And
even the 10-year-old at City West Hotel, that kind of got swept under the rug. We didn't even talk about that. The news they didn't talk about it once, because then the kind of protests, the riots happened. What they call it, a riot. I mean, there's a little protest, whatever. It was like, it was pretty contained, right? I wouldn't say it's a riot on the whole flipping city, but because that happened, they just didn't even give a shit about anything now. They didn't care, didn't talk about it at all.
Yeah, but see, it's kind of problem, reaction, solution, like, you know what I mean? And they created the problem. They got the reaction, but there's no solution. You know what I mean? And that's what's happened there. It's because the problem was so severe, and the reaction was so like escalated to the problem that was caused. Like the solution has just disappeared, and people aren't even talking about it. And when something like that happens, it will take another instance in this country for people to get to that level of rage and anger again. But it's kind of what I was saying about the politics thing, where for like people to get very angry, to get very fed up, to burn all of their energy going to these protests, and then after that they're online and they're ripping each other apart, because the adrenaline wears down, and they're kind of looking around them, and it's just,
and not much has changed, you think? Yeah, at all, really.
And it's just this is like all about collaboration. Like, this is not about running to your local councillors and your local TVs.
Right.
Like they've created this problem in the first place.
Yes.
Like they will directly lie to your face, and they'll try kick down the can down the road from the public, like as far as possible, so the public don't catch up and react to what they're doing. And that's what people have to stop doing. Is stop going to Fine Gael, like expecting that Fine Gael is going to fix the problem that they cause.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Stop going to Fianna Fáil, expecting them to create the problem that they're causing. Like stop voting for Sinn Féin, a party that seemingly supports every single thing that Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil has done over the past few years. It's because it hasn't really provided any benefit to the country. Like, we haven't really achieved anything, and things just seem to be gradually getting worse.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like, they've been in charge for last 100 years plus, so it's like, you know, there needs to be a change. There needs to be a certain shift. Like, you think that we could vote in, like you said, if we could collaborate together, like, what would you see would be the ultimate goal? We have to now collaborate together to put one person in the forefront, or put multiple people in the forefront, or something like that. Like, what about Ken O'Flynn and these kind of guys? You think that they're kind of good, or what do you think about that kind of thing?
That's who's this?
Ken O'Flynn, you know, the guy, I think he's in Independent Ireland maybe, or something like that. I don't know too much about it even. I see them online sometimes, but I don't follow them, you know.
Well, for Independent Ireland, I would, they're obviously kind of approaching it the way you'd want it to, but like, a lot of them would be kind of ex-Fianna Fáil and stuff.
Oh, got you, yeah. Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and, and I'm not trying to say anything, but a lot of those people in that party seem to be people that felt that they were going to lose their seat, so they went as an independent.
Wow, okay.
And they're like, hey, we're against Fianna Fáil now. Like, you know,
and you were just with them.
They're the bad guys. Vote for me now.
And they were with them like 10 minutes ago. Yeah, it's just bizarre stuff. That is a crazy situation.
But at the same time, like, it's just, you just hope that these people are genuine and legit, like. But like, I was part of a political party, the Irish People. Like, I was there from the kind of the beginnings to the elections, in a sense. Where,
I remember.
Where I would have been one of the founding members on it. Like, so like, whenever you sign up a party, you have to give your identification. You have to give your name, your bonds, and all that sort of stuff to get it kind of listed and registered as a political party. And that was set up by AJ, and it was just at the same time that Irish People was being set up, Independent Ireland was being set up as well. And I went off and I looked at it, and I was just like, well, it just seems that their whole aesthetic is nearly completely a carbon copy of what we're trying to do.
Right, okay.
Nearly achieve.
Yeah.
And I felt personally at the time that this was completely undermining what we've been trying to do for the past 5-6 years.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's like, and it's what people have to do. Like, people have to do the research on these candidates. If somebody just comes out of the blue and it's just like, oh, I'm the person to represent you, but I've said nothing for the past 6-7 years.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
That's the best person that
for sure
you should be voting for.
Sometimes the protests aren't that good. I kind of agree. Like, the protests really, it seems out you gotta get a large amount of people to get behind you. Like, and with the protests, you're getting a few thousand for sure. But I'm not so sure it's like you said, it's doing a ton. Like, you know, as much as it should be doing. What was the thing you wanted to talk about, say, beforehand, the homelessness and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I kind of guess the homeless issue has been something that I've been kind of fighting against for the past 5 years as well. And I kind of guess the first time I really saw the homeless issue as being a real issue was, well, it's actually at the very start of the lockdowns, because like, I was going from job to job, and I just after signing a contract to teach English in China as well. So like, this was money, like, serious. Like, it was a great contract. Like, they're going to pay for my flights, they're going to pay for my accommodation. It was going to be at least 30 grand saved in the pocket, like, every single year from the teach.
Yeah.
And then after that, they went off and just pulled the plug on it. And like, and then I was just like, okay, well, like, they're after really screwing me here. Like, so like, then like, I was kind of looking around, and then I saw the very early stages of the anti-lockdown protests happening up in Dublin, like, and I was just like, well, do you know what? Like, I'm going to start shaking the bee's nest here a small bit now, like, because they're after making things a bit hard for me, like. So, like, then I always walked through Dublin City, and every couple of steps, here, if you want to have a euro, you won't have a euro. Here, you want to have a spare cigarette, you won't have a euro. And I was walking around the city, and I was just like, well, the only people who were on the street now are the homeless.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that I saw how serious the issue was. And I was just like, well, if they've closed down all the home services, how are these people going to eat? So,
Jesus.
So I went off and I assessed it, and I was just like, well, like, how easy is it to go homeless in this country? Like, it's very, very easy to go homeless in this country. If you haven't got family, if your parents aren't alive, you're on the street. If you don't get on well with the parents, you're on the street. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it's gone. And unfortunately, like, I didn't go home. I didn't go homeless, like, because like, I'm from a good family, and
yeah, me too.
And we have the house, and I wasn't affected. But like, then I was kind of thinking, well, like, imagine if I had a car on the road. I had 3 children, a wife, and I was paying off a mortgage, and I was just after losing out and back onto social welfare payments, and I can't even apply for a job. I would have been screwed. I would have lost absolutely everything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's crazy. It's absolutely, it's disastrous when you think about it.
Yeah, so like, it's just like, whenever I look at a lot of those homeless people, like, I'm just like, well, a lot of those people are probably on the street through no fault of their own. Like, it's probably 100% circumstantial. And then when you actually start talking to these people, if you saw the same thing, like, it could be in the breakdown of a relationship, and then they had nowhere to go, and it could be in that, or it could be in like a situation like ourselves, where, like, it was just difficult to get a job, it was just difficult to get a house in the area. They got into an argument with the parents, and then were homeless or something. And that's why I started kind of doing the walks. I started, the first walk I did was from Galway to Dublin, and I only got as far as Lochray town, and the guards stopped me, like, and they're like, oh yeah, you're not supposed to be outside the house. It was just when they brought in the 5 kilometre rule, like, basically telling people that you weren't allowed to leave the house, you weren't allowed to go 5 kilometres away from your house. And I said, well, do you know what, like, fuck that, like, I'm a free man in a free country, like, my family fought for this country, like, I walk up and down, like, any street that I walk up and down, like, you know what I mean? Like, and no finicator or fianna fáiler can tell me where I can or can't go in my own country. And that was my whole approach during the lockdowns. And like, and to be honest with you, there was a couple of like, there was a lot of occasions now where I stopped, like, name and address was taken, I got fined in the post. So I must have got nearly about 600 or 700 euros worth of fines. for just being outside 5k.
Wow.
During the lockdowns, and I did about 8 or 9 charity walks. I kept all of the receipts as proof that I was actually feeding the homeless during the lockdowns, that I was buying them food, and I went off and I presented them to the judge, and I said, well, like, what one of the conditions of being allowed to leave your house was to help people in need, and like.
That's a good argument.
You know what I mean? And like I've all the proof here to say that.
Right.
I was actually helping these people.
Right.
But like, you know yourself, like if when I was doing that, there's people calling me a scammer. They're calling me a grifter. There's people taking down my fundraisers. I had one GoFundMe that was taken down, and it said that I was a terrorist. You know what I mean? And that was the reason why they took down my fundraiser, is because they said that I was funding terrorism. So apparently, feeding the homeless on the street was terrorism.
Jesus.
And
I mean, these are clowns. These are complete clowns.
So, like, this is so like, it's mad to think that like a lot of presumptions are made about people, like this whole grifting thing, like whatever. But like the one thing that I would never do is scam somebody, because like this is Ireland.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you can't get away with things in Ireland. Like,
it's so small.
It's such a small country that like you can't get away with that sort of stuff. And if you're lying about, like, it will eventually catch up with you, like, and
absolutely
give you a bit of a kick up the arse.
Absolutely.
And thankfully, through just being integral about what I did, that was the one thing that actually saved my ass when they were really trying to screw me in the courts, like, right, because I had proof to say that, like, this is what I was doing. I was doing the walks to feed the homeless, to raise money for the homeless. Here's the fundraisers. Here's the receipts.
That's amazing. It's amazing what you did.
Like I can't prove like any more, like, to what I did, and. To be honest with you, like, and regardless of the criticism, and regardless of the critics and those people poking you, like, that just wanted me to have more integrity in what I did. Yeah. Because I wanted to prove them wrong as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've had these people saying, well, he's only trying to like deceive people in what he did, and I was just like, well, do you know what? Like because there's so many liars, and because there's so many deceivers, and because there's so little integrity in the country, I'll actually come out with integrity, and I'll do it the right way, and I'll do it in such a way that the people will be happy. So, and
there's always different players in the movement. Like, a lot of people are saying, like, even James Conway with his podcast, now I'm kind of reacting to stuff. I don't know how much impact I'm having, probably not much at all, but I'm starting to react to some stuff. You always did the walks. You basically started the whole movement back 7 or 8 years ago, you know, or even longer before that. You have loads of different people playing different roles in it, and it's like, immediately if someone does something, you're like the far left people will say grifter, but then it's like you have some people on the own side. I never got any hate when I did the YouTube, but, you know, because I was mostly talking about music, I was talking about, like, conspiracy theories, then I started moving on to Irish politics and just now, like, daily news stories. But now you get some people on your own side that are, like, trying to, like, bring you down, other YouTubers or something. It's like just very odd. It's like, I thought we were supposed to be this team, like, but people don't want to be a team. Some people, they just want to see their own benefit, you know, it seems like, or they're trying to tear you down to make themselves look better.
Yeah, but like, it's just like, if people see but like, it shouldn't ever be seen as competition. Like, that's people's biggest problem. Yeah. Like, if somebody's doing something and they're doing it good, like, leave them to it. You know what I mean? If they're making the right impact, like, leave them to it. Yeah. Like, you don't get involved, you don't criticise. If you want to do something that is comparable to them, do it, but at least don't attack what they're doing. Right.
Rising tides raise all boats.
Yeah, because everything will benefit everybody.
Exactly.
At the same time.
And it's all benefiting everybody on the right anyway. It's all pushing the conservative movement, the right-leaning movement.
And it's just it's things like, see, like, we can make serious change in this country, like, and it will happen if people do have the right mindsets. But it's just, people have to just kind of step out of comfort zones. Like, stop voting for the easy votables, and realise that there's people that are very controlled in this country, and there's people that aren't controlled at all. The people who aren't controlled are the people that get punished, and their lives are made a bit harder for them, and they're lied about. I'm not controlled, so I'll never sell my soul. And
that's a fact.
And what it's all about is when you go for these elections, is who's going to do the right thing when put pen to paper. Like people treat these elections as popularity contests, and they shouldn't be treated as popularity contests.
Yeah, absolutely.
It should be treated on the policy that person is representing, and it should be based, and your decision should be based on whether or not that person will do the right thing when they have that pen to paper.
Yeah, and that's why I always said as well, you always want to vote for like maybe independents more so than like these big parties. Even though parties, obviously, you have the Freedom Party, the Irish, the different parties, which I understand that's pushing it forward. But at the root cause, you want to see what the guy is about, not what the flipping party. I'm going to vote for Fianna Fáil because my dad voted for Fianna Fáil or whatever. My dad didn't, right? But I'm just saying, like, certain people. But even look at the Spoil Your Vote campaign. I had to flip and convert so many people in my family, so many people on the internet about this Spoil Your Vote campaign. And then now you have other people on the right saying it did nothing. Well, I think everything does everything. I think when we're doing raw action, like just telling people spoil the vote, don't just vote for this person. Maybe put Maria Steen, put whoever you want on the ballot, right? Vote for some person. Maybe you don't agree with Maria Steen. Maybe put Nick Dillahunty, put somebody else, put whoever you want on it. But at the end of the day, it's helping push the conservative movement. Why would you ever try and bring it down from the inside? Like, if you're a conservative person, don't try and just rip down the flipping Spoil Your Vote campaign because you don't like Declan Ganley or something. It's just ridiculous. Like, it's just ridiculous. Okay, I don't like and I actually do like Declan Ganley, but if you don't like Declan Ganley, just do it anyways because it's helping push the movement.
Yeah, well, see, like the way I see it is we're writing modern Irish history. Like we are the spearheads of writing modern Irish history nowadays. And if you look at the Spoil the Vote campaign, sure, it was 13% spoil the vote. Like the last time that was achieved was back in the 1930s, 1940s.
Wow, yeah.
So that is writing modern Irish history. That is a significant event that happened in Irish history that will be assessed in 20 years' time. So it's nothing that is done today will be of no work tomorrow. Yeah. It's especially if it starts going in their favour, and that's what people have to start considering. Setting up a political party and running for election. That's writing modern Irish history. Like for parts of the history books now, your name's there, your legacy's there. Like that's gonna be there for the next 1,000 years.
I love that. That's amazing.
You know what I mean? Like
awesome.
any person that ran for the general or local elections, like your name's going in history now for forever. You know what I mean? As somebody who went off and stood up when the time was right and tried to make the relevant changes, like when they seen the real change in Ireland of where they were trying to achieve this new Ireland, as they call it. And they're all saying it, like Simon Harris calls it the New Ireland, Catherine Conley, she calls it the New Ireland, and it's just like, well, what is this New Ireland to talk of?
To hell. To hell.
Because,
but yeah, it's unbelievable. But that Spoil Your Vote campaign definitely made waves. I think it definitely woke a lot of people up. Even people that didn't even know about it were like, oh, I maybe watched one of your videos, or I saw somebody on Instagram post about, oh, Spoil Your Vote. I'm not going to vote for these three candidates. I don't agree with the three candidates, so I'm going to write somebody else underneath. And, you know, it didn't have to be like a vulgar statement like, you know, the government. It just had to be like, I'm not voting for this. You know, because maybe some people don't agree with, you know, writing certain things on the ballot. They think it has this like this holy ceremony of writing who it is. You know, it's super holy thing, but it's not really. And I remember even when I went to cast my ballot, when I voted recently, you know, in in the local village, like when I went to vote there recently, there's some old lady, and she goes, okay, and she didn't even check my ID first and foremost.
Yeah, my ID wasn't even checked either.
Yeah, it's on my, I said, here's my ID. No, it's fine. And I was like, okay, well that seems really like illegal. And then I gave her the ballot, what's it called again? The section that you get in the post, and I gave it to one, and then she goes, okay, you're only allowed to write in the boxes here. And I was like, nah. She goes, I said, you're gonna be upset like this. And she goes, and she's looking at me, and you know, not really. People know, like, okay, this person isn't here to flip and, you know, play games. Like, we're here to flip and actually make a statement. So I crossed it out. I wrote Maria Steen on it. You know, whoever you wanted to vote for, I'm not against you. But I remember her saying specifically, you're not allowed to write anything else on this ballot. You have to tick this box. And I was like, well, like, flipping. She knows that. And I went late, like 8 o'clock at night. I was working all day. She knows that there was vast amounts of people coming in And even people close to me said to the lady, there's not many people to vote on. And then the person that was sitting there was like, yes, you're correct. So even the people actually taking the ballots, they were agreeing that there was not enough candidates on the ballot. There was only two donkey race.
When I went into the US by the vote and I was kind of decorated, I knew, I was kind of focal on it, and he walked in, and he kind of looks at me and it's just like, oh, here we go.
You know
what I mean?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And then I obviously went to, and he started decorating the thing a bit. And he's in there, probably a bit longer than he should have been for the sake of placing the vote.
Right.
So I was just doing the whole, and then I could hear them scraping the pens, and I was just like, they know exactly what I'm actually hearing. They know exactly what I'm doing.
Absolutely. And they talked about this thing as being the most undemocratic thing. That's actually the most democratic thing. I remember listening to a great guy years ago talking about how writing none of the above is actually the most democratic thing you can do. It's actually the greatest thing. You know who said that? George Washington and Thomas Jefferson said, if you don't like the candidates, you don't have to agree with these people. You don't have to vote for them. It's a no vote in confidence for your government. So let's not vote for these people just to vote for these people. People were telling me, I'm going to vote for Heather Humphreys. You saw some people online say that just so Catherine Connolly won't get in. But that's not good. You're just voting for somebody because they don't agree with the same politics as that other person. It's just a terrible way to do it.
But see, this is what it's all about. It's a foreign protest. It works. 13% is just that would have been more votes than what candidates would have received back in 2011, for example. And a number of candidates ran for the 2011 presidential elections. So it is a significant number. But this is all about writing history, and it is to give people confidence right across the country that there is more of a collective than we believe.
Yes.
To be honest with you, the number that I had in my head before the split vote was we have to get 200,000 people.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was 214, I think, and I think with Jim Gavin, maybe they add the extra 100,000 on because maybe some people voted for Jim Gavin instead of spoiling their vote. Yeah. That was kind of their form of protest. So it's really 300,000 people, right? Some people were estimating.
So when we hit the 200,000, I was just like, wow, that is
major,
significant. You know what I mean? And that was what I was saying, that we'd have to be kind of hitting at least the 200,000 mark to really say that, okay, as a collective in this country, we have a serious force going forward. And it's just, all I can say to people is, if you're serious about elections, start getting organised now. You've 4 years to get organised. Put €20 aside every single week for next 4 years, and just be campaign ready. This whole waiting for the government to announce the election to start responding and to get active, it doesn't work.
Right, start campaigning now. Yeah. I heard in the US they do that. In the US they're campaigning now. I think the left or the Democrats are now campaigning across America to try and get Trump out. That's how it should be done. Absolutely. And who do you think would be? Did you want to see? What did you think about the candidates that were going for Maria Stina? So, do you think these people are good for presidential, or it was just sort of it's a sort of a nomination person's, not a ceremonial nomination?
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, there's 989 councillors. There's nearly 1,000 councillors in Ireland. You need 20 councillors to put you forward. So that's what 0.2%.
Yeah.
Or it's 2%, or it's such a small number. It's ridiculous. So when you kind of think, and it's just like, well, if 20 people out of 1,000 people can say, well, you know what, we're going to back this Conservative.
Yeah. That is a serious problem.
Yeah. And that's why the council elections are important to a certain degree. To be honest with you, after what happened in the last local elections, it really shows you that they can attack democracy very easily. They can sway it the way they want the elections to go very easily in terms of all you have to do is just grant votes to asylum seekers.
Yeah.
You know, and
I think they were going around to asylum seekers and they were saying to not vote for these people and this kind of...
I'm not joking. They actually had my name on a list, and they're going around to asylum seekers telling them not to vote for me.
Jesus.
And I'm not lying when I say that. I actually saw I actually saw it. Like,
wow.
Like I actually saw the piece of paper of them telling them who to vote for and who not to vote for.
Unbelievable.
And
how are they even allowed to vote, these asylum seekers? Like, how is it they're not even checking there's nobody's checking the ballots, nobody's checking anything, IDs?
Well, if I see, like, because it's a local election and because they see it as a low power sway kind of election to a certain degree, like the councillors, like how much power do they have really? Like when you kind of think about it. Like the only time you really see the councillors active in Galway is when, like, it's 4 weeks before election, and they're like, oh jeez, I'll fill this pothole now that's been here for the past 5 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then another 4 years will go by and to be back to the potholes again. And
it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
And that's their only there's only selling points really. It's like, I'm going to fill the potholes that we didn't fill 5 years ago that we said we'd fill.
It's crazy. I mean, the Galway City Council is just nothing.
And then on top of that, like I sat in Galway Bay FM and I had debates with these people, and they're all talking about cost of living measures and how we make things easier for people and make things cheaper. And the first thing that they actually did was increase local property tax. And okay, so the 5 councillors that I ran against that said that they were going to bring in cost of living measures improvements into the area. Like, the first thing that they did as councillors was increase the local property tax within weeks of getting elected.
Unbelievable.
And
unbelievable.
And it's in the middle of a cost of living crisis. They're after stripping away all of the support for the elderly, like in regards to heating and electricity, all of those bits and pieces. And now they're getting slapped with local property tax, like for 300 to 400 euro, and being told if you don't pay that, you get fined 3,000 euro.
Oh my god!
So like,
it's crazy. It's absolute travesty. Like,
so I see these people as being complete hypocrites. Really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, they're
local councils in Galway, are just abysmal. I don't even know too many of them.
And it's kind of like, and it's mad when you actually sit there and you go through the whole process and you talk to them and you listen to them, and then like the first thing that to do is a complete
turnaround.
Kick in the face, or complete slap in the face for every single person that votes.
It's crazy, complete hypocrisy.
To increase taxes, like after saying that they're going to lower taxes and they're going to implement cost of living measures and they're going to look after everybody. The first thing they did was increase the tax and then threaten them with a 3,000 euro fine.
Unbelievable, it's unbelievable. And Alan, before I leave you, what great conversation today. Hopefully everyone enjoys the conversation. I'm sure they will. But what do you think about this new digital ID that's coming in? They're talking about bringing in this digital ID, digital wallet. They have the digital ID rolled out in England. Obviously, it's in China for many years. The carbon scores, the credit scores, the flipping CDBCs, the kind of the sort of wallet that they're bringing in. They already have it for, apparently, in Galway. They have it for their members of the government. They have this digital wallet. What do you think about Ireland? You think that's going to come in soon?
It could do, but see, like that's all about controlling finance. Like having your finances being controlled by electronic means is very dangerous. All it takes is for a bugger fires and your whole account is stripped. Like.
Wow. And even like I saw they're going to bring it in by 2030. They want to have it done by 2030. They want to have this digital ID for everyone in Ireland, the same as the UK. They call it digital wallet to kind of track your high moments in life. Like, you graduate from college, you do this, you get a car, this, but it's not really. This is just complete control of everyone. That's the freedom stripped away from us. Yeah. How do we even resist then? Do we not use our phones anymore? I don't even, what do you even do then at that point?
Yeah, well, if it's just. Well, ever since like internet, like we probably have less privacy now than ever, really. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like everything is recorded digitally. Like all of your Google searches, everything's tracked now. Anyways, like, you know what I mean?
That's true.
If you were to search up bomb bomb components, for example, like guards would be at your house. So they are watching.
Right, oh, absolutely. Everything's tracked.
Watching,
Everything's
you know what I mean?
yeah, that is true. It's already tracked,
Yeah.
but it almost feels like this is like the next step up. This is, I mean, it's probably, yeah, you're right. At the moment, like I always tell people, they're like, oh, why are you like filming in public? But like, we're already filmed. Like, there's like mass amounts of CCTV in Galway, like, in Dublin. It's huge. We're all surveilled 24/7, and in every single shop you go into in Galway. But then they're worried about someone recording, doing a vlog on their phone, working out in the gym or something. Just trivial. They're like, "Why are you recording in the gym?" But it's like, but you are recorded every single day. There's actually CCTV in the gym as well. There's CCTV everywhere. Like, it's just bizarre stuff that they're upset about, like personal recording devices.
I know, well, you can't get away with much nowadays, anyways. Like there isn't much there isn't as much privacy as people think. Like, you know what I mean? And I think people have kind of optionally accepted that to a certain degree as well, where it's just like, okay, like we're willing to like sacrifice our privacy for the sake of having convenience. Like, but yeah. Like I remember when Facebook first came out, and I remember when Bebo first came out, and MySpace and all those things, and like what was it like? You go off, you had like a couple of friends, you post up a profile picture, and like if a girl likes the profile picture, she might fancy you. You know what I mean? Like, and that was the way like social media was.
Right.
Like that's the way Facebook and Bebo was. Like like if like you go off, you post up a few things, you post a profile picture, post up a few pictures, and sure, like, so someone might fancy you through that. Or,
right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that was the way social media was back then. Yeah. And then it just became more and more political.
Yeah.
And like especially during the repeal of the age referendum, and that was actually when I started going the other way of things, because like I just had questions asked about it, like, and there's some things that didn't kind of make sense to me, like, and I was just like, well, like if to bring an abortion, like, would that not result in more women being abused if they can just force them to get abortions? Like, you can never know that these girls or children are being abused. Like,
oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because so it's like you know what I mean? And I was just like, so there's, and then on top of that, like, it could be used as a contraceptive, and it might be as rare as people are saying. That
Right, absolutely, because there's nuance there, of course, yeah, but yeah.
And it's just. And then, like, he was old, like, he was friends that were kind of attacking me, but I never realised that they had gone on to the left. Like, but not just the left, like, but the most extreme forms of the left, like, the people that just go out and attack everybody, like, the Antifa types, like. Yeah. So, like, they were really vocal about it, like, and calling me a misogynist and a bigot and all this sort of stuff, and it's just. If you look at the amount of abortions that we've had in the country, you can nearly populate the County Galway with it.
Yeah, wow, yeah. I saw recently. Yeah, it is a wild statistic. You know, like, even certain cases, maybe obviously there's certain cases when people feel like it's needed, but like, this is not really happening. If it's happening en masse, like, these things are obviously taken advantage of. So yeah, it is a bizarre standpoint. But yeah, I mean, when you look at the left now in Ireland, like, obviously Galway is like the California of the US, you know, and Dublin's more like the city, is more like New York, it's more like the city heavy. But even like I see now, Galway probably not being as heavy left wing as it used to be, which is very odd to say. Like, a lot of people would be more right leaning, but they wouldn't say it, you see. And I think that they're more being, because like, even if you talk to any sort of foreigner, if you talk to any of my friends from like Nigeria or the Middle East, they're all right leaning. Like, these people aren't coming over and being like, yes, LGTB. They're not being extremely left leaning countries. Like nobody from flipping Saudi Arabia is coming here and saying it like pro LGTB. Like, it's just not happening.
Yeah, you only see this like stuff that happening in Europe, like in Western society.
Yeah, North America and Europe. That's it. Like,
like if you go to China, like, you only see Chinese. If you go to India, you only see Indians. If you go to like any African country, you can see majority Africans. You know what I mean? Like, there isn't hasn't ever been a situation where for 100,000 Irish people just arrived in a place and it's just like, okay, sure, look after us.
Right. You know what I
mean?
Right.
Look after us now. After having a bit of bad luck.
Yeah, for sure.
Look after us.
For sure. And this is what the left wing want, but like, I definitely see it really getting reduced. Like, I don't see even if there was a Galway protest over the summer, I couldn't attend that. That was the one thing I'm disappointed. I wanted to attend that one. I don't. You probably were at it, but I wanted to attend it. There was a lot of people live streaming and stuff. I would just do videos like I did in Athlone, but like it just seemed like there was only maybe like 20 people protesting there was like hundreds, and everybody you could see on the streets of Galway were like, yes, good job. Yeah. Whereas like before now, I think like back when you first started, there was the anti-riot, the Antifa were huge. Now Antifa wouldn't be as big. There's a few small segments in Galway anyway. I don't know about Dublin. Dublin's probably a different story, but
yeah, but like these are all professional Antifa groups. Like these are NGOs. Like you know what I mean?
Right.
Like they're like these. Like you mentioned terror cells. They're like these Antifa cells. Like these NGOs. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for the harvest these communists. Like Antifa, domestic terrorist types, like, and that's all how these NGOs have turned into, like all these like pro LGBT ones. Sure, like you go off, you protest against open borders and there's gay pride flags being shoved in your face, and it's just like, well,
yeah, it's like this massive contrast of two different ideas. Like, how the hell is that going to work?
Yeah, like it's not even associated to the problem, really. And
it's crazy.
It's just.
And where does that come from, Alan? Where does that Antifa? Where does this mindset in Ireland come from? Like, we're traditionally a more conservative country, I would imagine so, but not even in an extreme way, not even as extreme as the US, I would imagine, in Ireland. But we're definitely more. We like the small communities, small villages, but. Like this left wing popped up probably in the last 20 years, ever since religion got pushed down. And I'm not the most religious guy, definitely not saying that, right? I don't think many people under 40 are, right, in Ireland. But like it definitely maybe it took over this sort of like like my dad says to me, the gym is my new religion. It's like as a joke because I go there every day and I'm like in the gym. But he says like that now definitely like this woke ideology is taking over people. Like
well the way I see it is a lot of those. Well, it's generational now. Like if you were to look at Antifa in the country 30-40 years ago, like they would have been more so kind of Sinn Féin Republican based.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then once the Good Friday Agreement was signed, right, a lot of those people had to find a purpose, and it was like they kind of went off and hoodwinked them into this. Or kind of tricked them into this far left kind of thing, like okay, like you're Antifa, like everything else is far right, like you know what I mean. So they went off and hoodwinked and tricked people who were fighting against the state for years into fighting like people like me, like you know what I mean. But like even then, a lot of them have stepped away from it. A lot of those like dissident types have stepped away from it because why would they go out on the street and have like a lot of people like run around with the gay pride fights, gay pride flags, start fights, and then expecting these people to defend them, like. And that was what I noticed at these protests was you'd have these little like people like starting to crap and then hoping that the older boys will kind of step in and defend them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the thing is that the older boys have stopped stepping out now. Because now it's a question of morality as well.
Right.
And what they're willing to stand for
I get
and
you.
what way that they're seeing this
okay.
as well.
I understand, yeah.
So like there's a bit of a rift in it, like, you know what I mean? And I see a lot of the older players coming our side now.
Yeah.
And all their left with now is this NGO fabricate forums, leftist groups that are being orientated through the labour movements like SIP2 and the NGOs, and the government seems completely reliant on them, for them to operate as the control opposite.
Yeah.
So but see, like the thing is, like there's only so many bandwagons that you can hop on until there's just no bandwagons left to hop on.
Yeah, it's a great way to say it.
And they have picked and chose the hill to die that they're willing to die on, and it wasn't a very good hill that they picked.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And we're standing proud on our hill, and they're slowly dying.
Absolutely.
And that's what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
Like they had a bit of success with Catherine Conley, but she's gonna.
I don't think she'll help their movement in any way. If anything, it'll look bad on the things that she'll be talking about in the future. But no, it's great having you on, Alan. You're the man. I appreciate everything, man. And definitely we'll do it again soon, hopefully under better circumstances. Hopefully the movement keeps pushing our direction. But no, thanks for coming on, Alan. Yeah. You're cool. I know we go back a few years, so hopefully, you know, we can keep seeing the things push in our direction. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, guys, and go check out Alan. If you want to plug your stuff as well, Alan, whatever you're on, man, you can just tell people what you're on.
Yeah. So guys, I'm on Facebook. If you can follow me on Facebook, Alan Sweeney on Facebook. You'll see a picture of me standing on top of Croagh Patrick, holding a nice Irish flag. Yeah. And just keep an eye out for some of my activism. I'll actually be doing a homeless walk very soon from Galway to Dublin, where the reason why I'll be completing the walk is because the homeless figures in this country have increased by 65% in the past 3 years. I completed the walk from Galway to Brussels there about 3 or 4 years ago. And I said that the homeless figures were going to double in this country in less than 10 years. It was 10,000 at the time. We're now looking at homeless figures of 16,500. So in 3 years they've nearly doubled, and that's a hell of a lot worse than what I originally predicted myself. So there are serious problems. There's a lot of issues being ignored. The homeless issue in this country has just completely disappeared off the radar. So keep an eye out for me and follow my walk.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Let's go. Nice.